Morning students. Today we will be learning another writing skill activity in English, that is book review. You know that we have different kinds of media like newspaper, television, radio, other smart devices like phones, laptops, and of course the internet. There are people who write what they think about a particular movie or a book. They read a place they visit or even the dishes they eat. Such opinions given by people which appear on different kinds of media for the general public to read are called reviews. To write a review about something is to give a critical report on it. Today, you will learn all about writing review of a novel or any book that you have read, since you have learned many writing skills. You know that every writing activity must be written according to its specific format. Let's have a look at the format for a book review. We will be discussing a few guidelines which you can follow to write a good book review. Here is what you need to remember before we discuss the details of the format. You must know that the person who reviews a book is called a reviewer. The length of the review could either be a single paragraph or written in an essay format with multiple paragraphs. So, a book review can be written in a single paragraph, or how you write an essay with 2 or 3 paragraphs, you can write it that way. When you are about to present a book review, you must be thoroughly familiar with the piece of writing you are reviewing. So you must be thoroughly that what are you going to write in the review. You should be thorough. You can never write a good book review if you have not read the same book from cover to cover. So, the first important point is you have to read the book thoroughly. Then only you will be able to write about it. Remember, do not give any spoilers or revealing any plot twist. At the end, you can give the book a rating. A rating means, for example, a mark of 4 or 5 as per your opinion. Now, let's move on and discuss the main points while writing a review. We have to ponder upon the following questions and try to write accurate and precise answers. So there are some questions given below. We have to see towards to that questions and write a proper review about different aspects of the book or novel. Now following are the series of questions you can try to answer while writing a book review. You can first write a sentence or two about what the main story is about. Second, you can also write or briefly mention who are the main characters in that story or in the novel or in the book. Then now you can focus on what the main characters do in the story. That is the third question. What are the main characters doing in the story? What role are they playing in the story? That's the third question. Then the fourth, also give details on did the main characters run into any problems? Were they many adventures? Now, did the main characters in that novel, they had to face some problems? Or else you can also ask, you can write about there were adventurous things in the novel. Okay, these are all the questions. It is also important that you mention the mood and role of the book you have read. That means what is the role? Is that story a sad story? Okay, all those things you have to mention. That is, if this book, that's the fifth question is, that is, if the book make you laugh or cry. Okay, that also you have to mention. You could also write, then about the last question, you could also write about who your favorite character was and the reason of the particular character being chosen. Now, while reading the book, you might have found a character whom you like, so you can write about that also. Okay. Always remember, always try your best to bring your own personal experiences into the review. Why? Because you're the one giving your opinions on the book. You could also focus on answering questions like, could you relate to any of the character in the story? Did the story grip you and kept you turning the pages? Have you ever done or felt some of the things that the character did? So you can also, while writing the book review, you can also use your personal experiences and write the review. Next, lastly, you must give your frank opinion about these following questions. You have to be frank on these questions when you are ending the book review. What was your favorite part of the book? Sorry, the first question is, did you like the book? Now, whichever book you have taken for a book review, did you like that book? Then the second question, what was your favorite part of the book and why? Now, while reading the book review, you must have found that this part is your favorite. You like reading that. Okay, so you can write about that. Do you have at least one favorite part of the book? Why? You might be having one part of that book where you like to read that part. You can write about that. Okay. Students, you must focus on a honest but interesting and informative book review. You can write some of the important questions that you must have learned in your review. Okay. Now that you have learned what to include in a book review, let's consider an example. Okay, this is also there in your English grammar book, an English writing skills book. Okay, you will learn to write a review on the very popular book Beauty and the Beast by Jean Maria Leprince de Bont. Now, in the first paragraph of the review, you have to write a brief outline of the plot of the book without focusing on the details. You must also mention the name of the important characters. So these are the first 2 points. First, you have to write the outline of that story, of that book, and also just you have to mention the names of the characters in that book. Let's see further. Now the example is the name of this book, okay? Beauty and the Beast is one of the most classic tales ever written. A beautiful daughter dreams of meeting a handsome prince. But in order to save her father's life, she leaves home to live with a terrible, frightening beast. Though her patron is hideous, his disarming generosity slowly leads to a surprising connection. Okay, now next you can write about how this had been read by the children for a long period of time, and also about what children can learn after reading it. Okay, generations of children have been fascinated by the story of this girl named Beauty, who grows to love a fearsome beast by learning to see and cherish his kindness, generosity, and intelligence. The book teaches one to look beyond external beauty and to adjust with various situations, no matter how unfavorable they seem. It also teaches one that good things await a person who is patient and willing to go through hardships. Okay, so here you can also mention how it can be equally enjoyed by adults and what are the values they can pick up from this book. Okay, now while on one hand it is a classic children's tale, but a deeper level, it can be equally thought-provoking for the adults who read this tale out loud to their young wards, and it can help them inculcate certain important values in the children with relevant examples from the book. In short, it is a tale with hidden morals and values that should be a part of every household collection. So in the lastly, what you have to write is a little, okay, you have to write about the adults, the values they pick, okay, all these things have to be mentioned. And lastly, you have to write a little about the author of the novel in brief. What you have to write? Including her birth, her birthplace, other works written by the same author, etc. Okay, now this is the author of this book, Beauty and the Beast. So about that you can write a small paragraph in the final paragraph about the author. Okay, that's all. Okay, now there's a book, there's one example, there is an exercise given to you in your book, that is the exercise 11, where you have to try writing a book review, and the name of the topic is Black Beauty. Okay, you'll get it on the net, this book. So try reading that book and you can write it in your writing skills book. Okay, that's all. We will end over here. We will learn the next topic in your next video. Thank you for listening, children. Goodbye. Take care.